First, it's amazing what you can do with a few ingredients and a hot wok. On BBC Two and BBC HD, it's Chinese food made easy.
My name's Ching-Hee Huang, and I've been cooking Chinese food virtually all my life. As a 5-year-old, my grandmother showed me how to make delicious, quick and easy snacks, and I've been learning ever since about the rich variety of tastes and textures that Chinese food offers. Some of the best food in China is cooked and served on the streets as speedy snacks. So in this program, I'm going to show how some of my favourite Chinese street foods are quick and easy for anyone to make. There's a healthy version of crispy duck with a fresh plum sauce inspired by my birthplace. This is a Taiwanese delicacy because in the stores in Taipei, you'll have wafts of this in the street night market. I'll cook a simple, tasty vegetarian street dish using fresh tofu, produced in, of all places, the home of the pork pie, Mountain Mowbray.
And we're going to chant.
Why do we need to chant?
It's tradition.
And my versions of 2 dishes you'll find on many Chinese street corners: sweet and sour pork in a roll and spicy beef in a wrap, made for punters enjoying the excitement of a day at the races.
Oh my God, come on!
Good fast food?
That's superb.
The first street food dish, my version of egg foo young or savoury egg roll. I'm on the street. I'm going to cook you one of my favourite street food dishes. It's from Taiwan. It's called xian danjian, which means savoury egg roll. And this is how you do it. I've got here some fragrant shiitake mushrooms, finely chopped, maybe half a red pepper, just de-seeded, and then finely diced. Fantastic. And then for fragrance and smokiness, some bacon, just diced. Wok on, oil in. Now in Taiwan, they would serve this on the street, and you can just get whiff of the fragrance of the pork or chicken, lots of different aromatic ingredients to just entice you to their stall. So in with the bacon. We just want lovely crispiness to the bacon, just to kind of get a lovely brown on the edges. That's ready. The mushrooms are browned, bacon's a little bit crispy, and the peppers are still crunchy. Just gonna scoop this out onto a plate. Next, 5 whisked eggs. And then in with the delicious mushrooms and the bacon that we cooked. Now, with this recipe, you can make 2 omelettes, so I've just put half in. And at this point, when the egg is slightly sort of bubbling to the side of the wok, just tilt the wok and start to distribute the raw egg that's in the middle, in the center, around the wok to create your omelette. Now the seasoning: light soy sauce and a pinch of ground white pepper. Just give that a few seconds. What I really want to get is a lovely brown on one side. When you're confident enough, just flip it over. Next, slice some spring onions. Then we're ready to serve. So onto the plate. Now inside the omelette, a few of the spring onions, a few handfuls of shredded cooked chicken, and for even more substance, some honey roast ham, just sliced. And then just fold the omelette like that. I'm serving this with a vibrant jammy relish of grilled sweet red peppers from a jar, sweet chili sauce and squeezed lime, all roughly blended together. And ready in seconds. Now, the way you choose to eat this dish is really up to you. You could cut it up and then dip the pieces in that sauce. You can have that drizzled, or you can have that taken away, wrapped in serviettes or paper, which is how we do it in Taiwan, and then off you go to work. That's my Taiwan-style savoury egg roll, aka egg foo young, with red pepper and chili relish. Popular in China, but what about the streets of London?
No, I like it. It's delicious. Soft on the outside, it's crunchy in the middle.
You like it?
And that chili sauce gives it that zing.
You like chili? You like it?
Yeah, that's right.
How much do you think I could charge for one of these?
£4.50.
£4.50?
It was Chiswick, £5.
One of my favorite street food recipes is crispy fragrant duck, and this is a Taiwanese delicacy because in the stores in Taipei you'll have wafts of this in the street night market. So this is like my version of crispy aromatic duck. It's not really healthy, deep frying isn't, but it's really delicious. So I've got 2 duck legs.
Sprinkle on some 5-spice powder, cinnamon and ginger, all available in the supermarket.
Now that is all the spices. Now to go with that, a little bit of Shaoxing rice wine, about 2 tablespoons.
Or you can use dry sherry. Next, add a tablespoon of chili sauce.
Light soy sauce for saltiness and sweetness, some honey, about 2 tablespoons. Just rub the marinade into the meat. And of course you could do this with duck breast as well. And then what you want to do is marinate it for as long as possible in the fridge. Overnight is always best. But even if you don't have that much time, even 20 minutes just before cooking, it's enough. And 2 cloves of garlic.
Put this in the oven for 10 minutes at 180 degrees, then up the heat to 220 to crisp the skin.
Now, while that's in the oven, in Taiwan, we have crispy fragrant duck with a delicious daikon white turnip pickled salad. So I thought I would try and replicate that. I've got some radish. And next, I want half a cucumber and then just de-seed it. And that can go into the bowl. I'm going to add 1 red chili de-seeded, and this gives it a fiery kick. In now with a tablespoon of rice vinegar, a little bit of sugar,
A cupful of Shaoxing rice wine.
and then just give that a good mix. Now in Taiwan, when we have the crispy fragrant duck, we serve a little bit of this on the top and we just eat with our fingers and it's delicious. And then now, all we want to do is chill that in the fridge for as long as the duck cooks.
Wok full of oil on hob, duck out of oven.
It's perfect. It's just enough time to let that rest a little bit.
Slice the duck into bite-sized pieces. Coat in potato flour. Then place them in the hot oil.
And really, it's pretty much instant cooking. Because the duck is cooked, we just want the skin lovely and crispy. Now just lift out and just drain on some kitchen paper.
That's ready to serve. Sprinkle on some chili flakes, sea salt, some of the salad from the fridge, and a couple of sprigs of coriander.
And there it is, crispy, fragrant duck. Now, if you're not into deep frying, a healthier duck recipe, I've got here some gorgeous duck breast. Now, to make this healthier, of course, a lot of the fat is in the skin. To release some of the fat, I'm just going to score it. But to the Chinese, duck is a symbol of fidelity. So when you get married, it's always good to serve a bit of duck.
Put those in a bowl ready for a Sichuan-inspired marinade.
In with the Sichuan peppercorns. These have been lightly toasted.
Star anise, grated ginger, dark soy sauce for colour and light soy sauce for flavour, a pinch of salt, and Shaoxing rice wine or dry sherry.
Give this a good mix and then just simply pour it on the duck to marinate.
20 minutes later, wok on and pan fry the marinated duck to crisp up the skin. Finish cooking it in the oven for about 4 minutes at 180 degrees.
Okay, now for the sauce.
This is my quick, easy and fresh tasting version of plum sauce. Into a saucepan, put some chopped plums, a stick of cinnamon bark, some dried apricots, a star anise, and some water. Put that on the heat to reduce.
Now to that, I'm also going to add some caster sugar, about 2.5 tablespoons, as well as the sugar, a little bit of honey, and this is going to even thicken up the sauce even more. So the sauce is reduced, so it's lovely and slightly jammy. Just going to take that off the heat now.
When it's thickened, let the sauce and the cooked duck rest. To finish the sauce, the juice of 1 lime.
So to go with the duck, handful of mixed salad leaves, Little drizzle of this sauce. And that's it. Quick taste now. It's really sweet, sour, really fragrant and aromatic. That's my crispy duck.
My healthy version of a classic street snack. Often described as the cheese of China, tofu or tofu is a classic ingredient in some of my favorite Chinese street foods. I want to show you my version of a typical dish, stir-fried spicy tofu and edamame beans. To show off the dish at its best requires fresh tofu. Rather unexpectedly, there is a tofu producer called Paul Jones working in the home of the pork pie, Melton Mowbray in Leicestershire. All over the Far East, you'll find fresh tofu being made from soybeans. The fresher the tofu, the stronger the soybean flavour. Paul's going to make a batch for me to cook with.
Let's show you how to make tofu, Ching.
Thanks, Paul.
Have you seen tofu making before?
No. But I know how to make soy milk.
Ah, well, this is what we're going to do first. So
Okay.
if you want to
So,
go and
what do you want
stand
me?
over there.
Okay. This looks interesting.
This is how we're going to make soy milk from whole soybeans.
Yeah.
They've been soaking for 15 hours.
These organic.
They are, yes.
So I've noticed there's Japanese writing on this. Where did you get this gadget?
It's a Japanese tofu kit.
Japanese
there are-
really?
Thousands and thousands of little tiny tofu shops in Japan.
Yeah. And how did you get hold of this?
We paid a lot of money for it to a nice Japanese man.
The process is very similar to making cheese, except that first the milk has to be made from soybeans. The beans are crushed, water is poured, pumped and forced through them until it becomes infused with the soy flavour. This liquid is called soy milk.
This in Asia, I understand, but here...
Now we inject steam.
This is exciting. In fact, I'm salivating. When can we see the tofu?
Being very slow. Now we're going to pump it through this straining bag.
The smell is amazing.
Isn't it a wonderful smell?
It's wonderful. This brings me back to my childhood. My mother would be here, like, helping herself right now.
So now we're going to curdle this with
What are you
nigari
curling
salt.
with? Nigari
In
salt.
English, this is known as bitten,
Wow,
and it is
bitten.
very bitter.
Wow, that's amazing. Little crystallized pieces.
Ooh.
Am I supposed to taste it?
Too late now.
That is the most bitter salt. It doesn't
Isn't it
taste
bitter?
like salt.
No. Here, have some water.
I need some of that now.
So now we're going to sprinkle the nigari into the tofu, and we're going to chant.
Why do we need to chant?
It's tradition. Yup.
The salt curdles the soy milk into water and tofu.
What we're doing now is making firm tofu by taking out H2O. See the curds now, look at that.
Look at that.
Aren't they delicate?
Yeah.
Magic.
To settle. It is magic. This is a one-man job?
This is a one-man tofu shop. This is what you'd find in a corner shop in Japan. And you'd have this would be the wall.
Right.
And you have a little sliding window.
Right.
And you sell the tofu straight to the public
Fantastic.
over the top.
I think I should get myself a tofu shop.
This tray of delicate wobbly tofu is now hydraulically pressed to firm it up.
So what happens now? Just plunge in.
I'm going to turn it upside down, mind your feet.
That is a big block of tofu. Thanks so much for showing me this. And can I treat you to a delicious dish?
Oh,
For
yes,
all your
please.
hard work and your efforts.
That would be wonderful, Ching, and I'm sure my colleague Pete would dive in there.
Come on, let me show you my recipes
Oh, yeah,
for
let's see.
these. Let's drain them a little bit first. That will help absorb all the flavours I'm going to create.
I'm going to make spicy tofu and edamame beans, a combination of bean curd and fresh soybeans, a vegetarian marriage made in culinary heaven.
Wok on.
Oil in and cut up the tofu into small slices.
And then in with the tofu. Just going to turn them over once they get lovely and brown. I think the trick is just to keep their shape when you're handling them. Now, a little bit of soy sauce, just a few splashes.